Hi, everybody, and welcome to Generation Gab with a fun dad.
And semi-recent grad. Hello.
Oh, so good to be with you again, Chase.
Oh, ditto.
Yeah, I mean, I have missed you. I enjoy having you regularly in my life. See,
Same.
and this is something that, I don't have a lot of social time. And I think this is a dad thing. Dads don't have a lot of friends. Did your dad have a lot of friends?
Yes, but we had this conversation recently because I have a lot of friends, too many.
Yeah.
And my dad said when he was my age, he did have a lot of friends too. And,
No, but I mean when he was your father.
But yeah, he said he barely keeps in touch with anyone now.
See, that is I hear that very often from fathers because basically you work, kids, and then worrying, and that's pretty much all you have time for. So ostensibly this is work.
But I
I.
have work, social, and worrying.
Yes.
And social takes up a lot of my time.
I remember that. I remember those days of like hanging. I hung with a tribe when I was younger in my 20s. And there would be like a group of us that would kind of like a St. Elmo's Fire. Did you ever see that movie, St. Elmo's Fire?
No.
Oh my God, you got to see it.
I just imagine that's like a Big Bird Sesame Street type show.
No. St. Elmo's Fire is the Brat Pack. Do you know what the Brat Pack is?
No.
This is a perfect. Maybe we should just go right into our fire round.
We should, yeah.
Okay, so the Brat Pack is a group of young actors who did the first one, I believe, was The Breakfast Club.
Oh, I've seen that.
And the same actors also did a movie called, and this was towards the end, this was kind of their grown-up movie. Demi Moore was in it. It was called...
Charlie's Angels.
No, St. Elmo's Fire. This is way, way, way before all that. And St. Elmo's Fire was kind of about the young adult angst. When you're out of college and you've got to begin what we would say today is adulting. St. Elmo's Fire was about that. These were their friends from college, but now they're all newly entering the world of adulting. It's a good movie.
And they called it adulting back then?
No. You guys came up with that.
That's a very millennial term.
Very good term. I
Yeah.
love that term. Millennials, I did a little research, on stuff because I feel like you do so much for us. You can't look at this. This is
right.
all, yeah.
Okay.
But there's so much said that's anti-millennial out there.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys get a really bad shake.
There's a TED Talk called Why Millennials Are the Worst.
Yeah, why are you guys hated so much? I don't get it. We were slackers. I mean, we did drugs, and I mean, we're very similar in many ways. It's just that we're separated in time. But I don't get why millennials get such a bad rap.
We've talked about this a little bit, but they say instant gratification. We grew up with the internet was just starting, so all of a sudden everything was really quick. And
right.
So they say that we don't want to work our way up on the job. We just want to be at the job. We don't want to have to wait around.
But you guys don't
perks.
need to. This is our partnership is a perfect example because you do most of the work for the podcast.
I don't do any of this.
But this is easy. I just set this up.
She's
She's pointing at the equipment. I just plug it in, But you do everything. And I see this in lots of millennials, very multi-talented, like editing, this, that. You guys just have your fingers in lots of different things. I just feel like millennials really get a bad rap.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you.
I'm pro-millennial.
Well, I think I'm great.
Yes, good.
But I
Good.
think a lot of my friends are.
Yes.
So maybe we aren't that bad.
And why wouldn't you want instant gratification? We wanted instant gratification. Hell, we were part of the Clinton generation where it was like money, money, money. It was all about money and blow.
The Clinton generation was about money?
Yes. Oh, because the economy was booming under Bill Clinton. And so, that's when we were all young. That's when we were adulting. And there were drugs everywhere and money everywhere. Everybody had money, money, money. It was all about money. And we wanted instant gratification, but we didn't have the ability to satisfy our instant gratification. I think that's the only difference. You guys actually can get what you want when you want it.
Right, and so we're just taking advantage of it.
Yeah. I mean, every human wants instant gratification.
Yeah.
You guys just, maybe people are just jealous that you guys get it.
They say you hate when you're jealous.
That's right. You
They're
hate
just
what you want to
jealous.
be.
Yeah.
You hate what you want to be.
You mentioned the Clinton generation.
Yes.
I was in second grade
Jesus
when the
Christ.
scandal happened with Monica
Oh,
Lewinsky.
God.
Maybe first around there. But
Should I feel like I should point this mic
Oh,
at
okay.
your mouth.
Here
'Cause
we
he
go.
wants you, we have some help now. People, we have not fans, but we have.
we have help.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry for the mic noise, everybody. There we go.
I
Is
can
that
just
better?
edit that out. Is that better?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it is.
And I mean, I remember it, but like, as were you in your 20s when that happened?
Yes, it
What
was like
was that a huge scandal?
To me, it was the end of the Democratic Party. It's the reason that the Republicans were in power. I mean, other than Obama, but even then, they still. This is when the Republicans started to control the United States, and I was a Democrat, and I was very upset at him. I thought, I was very much in the minority. By the way, most Democrats were like, well, you know, they were consenting adults, and I'm like. He stuck a cigar in her vagina.
What?
Yes.
I never knew
In
this.
the Oval Office.
How do you know?
Because it was all laid out. Because unlike, Mueller, Starr got everything out. And,
Wow.
So, yeah. So he stuck a cigar in her vagina because he thought it was funny or something. That just hits. I have multiple things to say about that. But then and then they found her dress that had, cum on it. I mean, and then he lied about
they
it.
They didn't tell me this in second
Well,
grade.
you were in second grade. We had to withhold that from you, Chase. You weren't ready for that. Now, of course, my second graders hear everything about, that Trump, our president, just lays it all out.
Yeah, he just lays it out now.
But yeah, I believe that was the beginning of the second rise of the Republican Party. Because he just, people, and I believe that the Democrats excused it. And I believe that was wrong.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was a scandal.
That was a big ass scandal. There was also, to be fair, on the other side of the aisle, there was the Iran-Contra affair. Now, do you know anything about that?
No.
Okay. So under Reagan, and Reagan, made an apology. He said he never knew it, but he said, but the facts show that I did, but my recollection is I still don't. Anyway, he had his own Bill Clinton moment. And they were basically trading drugs for arms to fight an illegal war in South America.
Not real arms, but
No, guns.
for a second I
yeah,
thought,
not severed arms. That would be of no use to anybody. But yes,
I feel like they do that
yes.
in
If you steal,
South America.
if you steal in certain cultures, they'll cut your arm off.
Yeah, I feel like that's happened before. Not to me, but
No.
okay.
Well, that's like a, serious. We just got serious and political there. That surprises me. But that is part of.
Well, we said
Culture.
we aren't going to go political on this show.
Yeah, I don't see any reason for us to do
I
it.
can cut all that out.
No, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we held our own there.
I don't know.
You take a listen.
No, I can't talk about in South America.
Oh,
I think
right.
That
Okay.
won't be good.
Okay, so this won't be on either. All right, let me give you a quiz.
Did we finish the topic about not having friends? Did we go through
Oh,
that?
yeah. So I was just going to say that fathers don't have many friends. And it's a very common thing. I feel like mothers tend to have more. And maybe that's because of the sexism in our culture, because mothers end up most of the time being the primary caregiver, so they're around the kids, and when you're around the kids, then you're around the parents of other kids, and you get to have a little bit more social interaction.
Yes.
It's a harder job, I believe, overall. But the fathers are kind of on an island.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, but that is very true.
No, I
So that's why I missed you, because this is one of my social interactions is spending time with you.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. So Chase, you were on the road
Yes.
And last episode, we captured you and your sister on the road, which I think is going to go down as one of our better episodes. Oh, God, yeah. I thought it was great.
Oh, that's so nice.
Because you guys were so
the
adorable.
audio ended up not being amazing on my end,
So what?
but okay.
It's not like that's the most important part of a podcast.
Quantity or quality over quantity, or that's not the most important part. Is the sound.
But right after, do you want to talk about what happened right after we spoke?
Sure.
Okay.
Right after we spoke, well, yeah, right after, because this happened a few hours later. I went to. You're talking about the stand-up show.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Yes, I went to a show thinking it was an open mic because it was on a website that was listing open mics. And I got there, and the line was out the door.
Oh, that should have been the first thing to throw you.
I go, well, I've never seen a line out the door for an open mic.
No, it's usually people running away from an open mic. It's the
Yes.
opposite.
Because open mics are just painful.
Yeah, they're
Nobody
just-
wants to sit through that. So we get up to the host because it's at this like big, huge restaurant.
Jesus.
Huge,
Oh,
like
God.
a cheesecake factory,
Oh.
but bigger.
Jesus.
And I go up to the host and I was like, I saw online that this is an open mic. Is that true? Like, could I get some time? And she was like, the booker's not here yet, but he usually just lets people walk on to the show.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And as I'm waiting for the booker, just more and more people are coming through the door.
And what demographic were these people?
Am I allowed to say?
African American.
Yeah.
They were all black.
I don't know what the proper term is, black or African
I
American.
believe black now.
Now it's
we're back
black.
in black, I believe. But
And
we
is
can.
it rude that I'm saying that?
No.
Okay.
No, I think it's that. This to me is what's so funny is because I mean Chase is whiter than white.
Yes.
You've got blonde hair, blue eyes. You're just. But I mean,
I'm
you're
very white.
very white, and here you are for this open mic in a town where you don't know anybody, and it's like packed with African American people. And this is what I think says a lot about you. Is you went ahead and went on. You like were okay, yeah. What? So what?
I mean, it wasn't that easy. I was shaking in my boots because finally, like, the booker gets there and I go up to him like, hey, like, I heard this was a show that people could just get on. I'm visiting. And he's like, yeah. Like, what's your name? Like, I'll throw you on. And I stood in the wings not knowing when I was going on, how much time I had, if I was even going on. So the whole show, I just was standing there like, am I next? Like,
Yeah.
how much time am I doing?
That's
And
exhausting.
so I was just,
You were
I was a
beside
nervous
yourself.
wreck.
Yeah, that's
and
not
I'm going
right.
through my head like, what am I going to say? I was going to do all these new jokes, but I'm like, I can't. This is a show.
Yeah,
I can't
you got a
just do-
packed house.
I got to do my routine.
Yeah, you got to go to what you can count on.
Oh, so anyways, the headliner goes. There's a headliner, and
That's a bad sign. At an
he
open
does
mic.
an hour.
He does an hour.
It's a show. They all came to see this headliner.
Holy crap!
They
Do you know
were-
what's his name?
Oh, I don't know, but he was amazing.
He was
Like,
okay.
he was a pro.
and
Like,
he killed.
the audience is rolling in their
Oh.
seat, just laughing.
And now you're going, uh-oh.
Well, I'm just like, am I even gonna go on? Like,
Yeah.
am I gonna do an hour? Like,
Oh.
what is the?
Oh
How
God.
much time are we doing here? So then he is about to finish, and the booker comes up to me and he's like, "So, that's the headliner. He just went. The show is over, but we have about like 5 more minutes till we need to kick everyone out of here. Do you want to do your set?"
Oh my God. So there were only two comics, the headliner and you.
No, it was the opener for the headliner.
Okay. And was he
No,
good?
there was the host of the show.
Right.
Then he called up someone who just did a little bit of time.
And how was he?
Oh, they were all great.
They were all amazing.
They were all amazing.
Pros.
And they were all black.
African American,
And
yes.
the audience really related to them.
Yes.
And then there was an opener for the headliner.
Okay.
And then the headliner.
Okay. But
So
they
there
were all
like
great.
3 acts.
Yes.
And then, so then
At the end, he throws you on.
and the host
There's
comes up
something kind of brutal about
and
that.
he's like, "Hey, you guys, this girl,
Girl? That's rude.
this girl, like, she stopped by. She was hoping to get some time. Is that okay if she comes up here to perform for you guys?"
And everybody's like, yeah.
Yeah, but they're like,
We just saw an hour.
be
We need to go to
polite,
the bathroom.
the show's over.
Yeah.
You never go on after a headliner.
No, never.
So I went up there,
Oh, Chase.
and I could have said no.
Yes.
They asked me.
But
and
you were like, I'm here. I'm going to do it.
if I don't do this one, I'm going to have to go to another show and do an open mic. And like, I already waited an hour. Like,
yes, I'm going to do this. Oh,
just
boy.
going to do it. And I went up there. They are not on my side.
Oh.
And I'm like, "Hey, Atlanta, I'm on a road trip.
Yeah. And they're
Oh, I love it here." And they're just,
not.
I got to stick to the script because I was just going off book because I was trying to,
Get
I was trying
loose.
to do crowd work.
And get loose. Get loose a little bit.
I couldn't just be, I don't know. So
Chase.
I just performed to crickets. Every single joke was a
Nothing?
silence. And I started explaining my jokes.
Oh, God.
Being like, "Oh, that was a joke about Disney Channel. That was a show that," and I talked about That's So Raven, and I thought they'd relate because
Oh, my God. So
They didn't.
No. Oh, my God, Chase. So you just.
They
you
hated
bombed.
me.
They hated you.
I bombed, and I got off the stage, and I just beelined it to the door. I didn't make eye contact with anybody,
Oh.
and I had a glass of wine. I was just like, "That's the hardest thing I've ever done."
Well, listen, I have been there.
Let's hear
many,
your
many
worst
times.
bomb story.
I remember doing improv in a club in Chicago, and this was when I was part of a troupe. It was called Random Sample. That was the name of the troupe in Chicago.
Were you in it with Amy Poehler?
No, God, no. This was in the 90s. It was a terrible little group.
Okay.
And we performed at this bar called Shuba's, and the Blackhawks were in the cup, the tournament for the hockey team.
Okay.
Was in and so they had the stage, but they had monitors all around the stage playing the hockey game while we were performing.
And people were there just to watch the game.
Yeah, people were like, "Would you shut up? I want to hear the hockey game." but we went ahead. We did it. I remember one guy just stood in the back, and it was straight out of Spinal Tap, where he just had his thumb down the whole time. Now I can make that reference to you because you've seen the movie. Puts his thumb down the whole time, and then at one point he goes, "You suck," and then he made eye contact with me, and he goes, You suck." So that was one of I have many, many, many bomb stories. But anyway, welcome back to LA. And when you got back, you did a show here, and what happened?
It went really well.
You killed. You killed.
I think it's because I did so bad in Atlanta that I don't know why. Sometimes I do every other. If I bomb, then I'll do good the next time. I don't know what the science is behind that.
No. And I wonder if, getting back to the theme of our show, if the millennial approach to that is different than the X-Gen approach.
What do you mean?
Well, we were talking before the podcast, and you were saying that, hey, this idea that, hey, they're going to laugh at my stuff is a great attitude to have. And my default attitude, and maybe this was because I'm a slacker, my default attitude is they're going to hate it every time.
Well, that's my default.
Well,
but someone told me to change that. Who's a millennial?
Do you think millennials are more optimistic than X-Geners, or are we more optimistic than millennials? We're both kind of a depressive group, both of us.
I don't
We
know
had
if that's
AIDS.
generational. I think it's person to person.
Well, sure. I'm just saying overall, like the culture of millennials versus, because X-Gen had AIDS, right? And that was our big sort of bummer, you know, which is big when you're coming of age and you're becoming sexually active to have a disease that kills you for having sex. It's not a great thing. And I feel like your main thing was the
internet.
Recession. I was going to say the big recession, which killed you guys because you guys are all broke.
But
and
I was in high school when that happened.
Yeah.
So by time I graduated and was adulting, it was kind of like
over.
it wasn't anything in my mind
Okay.
about the recession. But I guess a lot of millennials went through that.
Yes, because
You're
I just
right.
know that student loans is a big, big, big problem with
Oh.
millennials, and the fact that they can't, get a house because they're in such debt, and
Oh, you're
that's,
right. Oh, that's
you know
all
what I
me. Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I wrote a new joke last night.
Ooh, let's hear it.
It's about my vision board asking for $1 million. And I pretty much got that just in student loan debt.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Woo! That's great.
Should I use that in my 30 minutes?
Yes, for sure.
I'll be
For sure.
15 seconds
Yes.
added on. But yeah, you're right. And I was affected by the recession because my parents were affected by it, and we moved, and I had to switch schools and like all that. So I guess
Yeah.
that is.
I mean, I feel like that is a big, from what I'm reading, because I'm reading more and more. All right, should we do a bit of a segment shift now?
Yeah, should we go back to our? We got one
We
fire
got, we
round
got
in.
way off. Let's get to our fire round.
Okay, so the fire round of millennial Gen X. Do you know what this is?
Yes.
We're still working on the name.
We're working on it.
Okay.
All right. Should I start or should you?
You should.
Okay. What is HR Puffin stuff?
Oh, come on.
You know it?
Is it Hufflepuff from Harry Potter?
Wait, you don't know HR Puffin stuff?
No.
Oh my God. HR Puffin Stuff was a show, and they wore these crazy outfits. Here, I'll show you a picture of it. Does that ring any bells for you?
No. Is it a kid show?
Yes, it was a kid's show, and he was the HR Puffin Stuff was the character, the main character of the show. Isn't that amazing? Look at that head. I loved HR
Oh,
Puffin
so
Stuff.
you were a kid when it came out? So that was the Sesame Street?
Yeah. And it was created by these guys who were probably users of marijuana and LSD, as you can see it says
Yeah.
there.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
That's fun.
That was pretty cool.
Did you have Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Mr. Rogers was huge in
Because
my
we
house.
still had it when I was
yeah.
a kid.
Thank God for Mr. Rogers.
Thank God for Mr.
Thank
Rogers.
God for him. He was, yeah. So, okay. All right.
Okay. Do you know what Doug is?
Doug. No. Is that an animated show? Mm-hmm. It is. Okay. But I've never seen it.
That was the theme song.
What was Doug? What was it about?
It was on Nickelodeon. I think every millennial, unless they didn't have cable, which some didn't.
Right.
But every millennial, pretty much, that was like one of our favorite shows. We can all
Really?
relate to it. And it was just about this kid, Doug, going to school and his issues. But he had some fun friends, and it was just a little cartoon.
Was he kind of a stick figure? I'm picking.
Kind
He
of.
was like it was like raw looking.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've seen it. I've seen it. All right. Okay. What? Okay. What was the biggest invention in terms of music during my generation? What was the biggest innovation for music, recorded music in my generation?
Well, I want to say it had some, like, because the 80s were really, all of a sudden, it got into like a little more like fake and not real
Ugh.
guitars
Oh
and stuff.
God, I hated that.
Was it the synthesizer?
The synthesizer. I think that's a fair point. I was more going towards the product on the end of the conveyor belt. I was going to talk about the CD, the compact disc. Let me tell you, it changed everything because everything was done on tape up until then. So you had 8-track tapes, and then you could buy cassette tapes. I'm talking about when you're with your Walkman, and you're on the go.
Well, when I was a kid,
Yes.
like my house, we had tons of tapes.
Right. I mean, tapes were all you had, and then people had collected tapes, and people made mixtapes for each other. If you had a girlfriend, you made a mixtape for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I wasn't there yet.
Did you ever get a mixtape from a boy?
Never.
So now you get a playlist, probably. Does anybody ever give you a playlist? Hey, Chase.
No.
These songs remind me of us.
No.
Never?
One time, my ex-boyfriend sent me a song, and I was like, why did you just send that to me? I guess I wasn't really with it, with that you send songs to people.
It
But
means something, yeah.
yeah, I didn't get that. But no, because I was too young for, like, in kindergarten we weren't sending tapes to each other.
Oh my God. It's
But-
so.
But then
Yes.
on another note, when DVDs came out, that was like 5th grade for me.
Yes.
That was a game changer too.
See, that DVDs were our CDs. Because CDs, I mean, because it was this crystal sound. It was unreal. We couldn't believe it. And I remember my friend Rick got the first CD that I ever listened to. And it was the Grateful Dead, and he played Franklin's Tower, which is like one of their songs, and turned it up super loud. I was blown away. I was just...
And then you had to have a tape player and a CD player. It didn't all of a sudden just go to CD.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And
'Cause,
same
yeah.
with VHS. I had to have a VHS player and a DVD player.
Well, you should thank that the X-Gen people for not having two VHS, because we were the ones where it was Betamax versus VHS.
What's Betamax?
Okay, Betamax was a different format of videotape. So when movies started coming out, some movies would be only on Betamax, and some would only be on VHS. And only VHS players would play VHS, and only Betamax would play Beta. And it was this big battle between these two companies, and VHS won.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
And you remember Blockbuster.
Oh, I do.
Did they have Betamax at Blockbuster?
I think early on they might have. I don't know, but I do remember some video stores. Oh, that's only in Betamax. And you'd be like, God damn it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you could only get certain things and certain cameras, of course, like the camcorders. So, people would kind of choose their path,
Yeah. Oh, so interesting, because we lived through this time together.
Yes.
But my time of it
Yes.
was all like, I don't know, like online, the internet was so new, but I would play Neopets. I bet you never played that.
No.
That was like the kids, that's what you do.
What was Neopets?
It's like, it was almost like Pokemon, where you have these like odd characters, like
Right.
they're your pets though, and you had to take care of them.
So
And
you had to like click the mouse on food and put it in the dog's mouth or whatever.
Yeah, but they lived on their own. Like you got them houses, and
Jesus.
they fought with each other, and they would win battles, and it was so much fun.
Did you ever experience a dial-up modem?
Yeah, with AOL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it would go on, you did. You remember
yeah,
that?
I remember. So like this is the 90s we're talking.
Yes.
Now we're into the 90s.
Well, but let me go back before the dial-up modem. Did you ever have the modem where you took the receiver of your home phone and put it in this coupler where the receiver, you would stick the receiver of the phone on the table into this thing where a suction cup would be on the earpiece and on the sound part of the
No.
phone. But, and then you would dial up and you would dial, turn the...
That's like from the 1930s.
No, God, no. We had those.
Really?
I had
You'd go, "Dlit."
my home phone when I was a little kid. Yeah.
Really?
We had dial up. You didn't, only the rich people had push button phones.
Oh.
Yeah, that came later.
How funny.
I remember Scott Freiberg got a push button phone. I was like,
Scott
wow, this is
Freiberg.
awesome.
He was always so...
They always had the new stuff.
Oh, wow. I remember, because I was like really little with the internet, and I thought my dad invented it.
Oh.
Because he worked for IBM.
Oh.
And I thought IBM was the internet. And it took me a while to figure out IBM wasn't the internet, or I don't know.
Well,
I'm
it's
still
confusing.
By
I mean,
it all.
nobody knew what the hell the internet was. I mean, the only thing I heard about the internet early on was these chat rooms where people would, of course, go in and there's like sexual stuff going on and masturbation.
Ew.
I'm sure.
That still happened when I was in high school. It was called chat roulette.
Really? What's that?
You just click on chat rooms and you don't know what's going to come up. And it's like random people and you can like click next. It was, you only did that when you were like hanging out at a friend's house and you did it to be funny. Like, who's going to be on chat roulette? It wasn't,
Cool. That's a
I
good
didn't do
game.
it for serious.
That's a good game.
Yeah, it's a game.
Do you remember TV stations signing off?
No.
You don't remember that. Okay. This was back when before cable, you had 3 and then Fox came on. So you had 4 channels. You had VHF and UHF. UHF had a lot of other local channels, but VHF only had 4 or 3. And at I don't know, 1 in the morning, or maybe it was even earlier, but at some point they would end their programming, play the Star Spangled Banner, and then this weird screen would come up with these. It looked almost like a shooting target, but they had these circles and an Indian head, a profile of an Indian head in the middle, and that would stay on for a while, and then it would go to static.
So the channel, they weren't playing any more shows.
No more shows until 6 a.m.
You know
or
what?
whatever.
They need that now.
I know.
For kids.
Yes.
Even on YouTube, they need to be like, sorry,
It's done.
It's 10 p.m. Time
Yep.
for bed.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
No.
Oh, that's really crazy.
I saw that. Do you remember Battle of the Network Stars?
No.
Oh my God. Battle of the Network Stars was a great show that was on TV where stars of the network shows would battle each other. So you'd have Happy Days versus Laverne and Shirley versus, Magnum PI.
Would have loved that.
And they'd get a few of the cast members. Not all. At the beginning, they would do better, and then towards the end, you'd get people who had a recurring role on Starsky and Hutch.
They did that for Disney Channel. They did
because they force them.
They
Disney Channel, you do it or you're out.
Yeah, it's part of the contract.
Yeah.
But I remember my whole goal, the reason I got into acting was to be on
the
Disney
Disney.
Channel.
Thank God for
didn't pan
Disney
out.
then. That's the first thing that I love about the Disney Channel is that you would not be here with me if it weren't for them.
I got into acting classes. But I wanted to be on the Disney Channel summer games, and it was like that. They would it was almost like the Olympics. They would
And you would compete at different shows, or would it just be Disney stars?
It was just
competing?
Disney stars.
Okay,
It was so great.
I had a version of that. I was on a TV show called Jessie,
What?
starring Christina Applegate. Not the Jessie, not that
Congratulations.
Jessie. This
Not
was
on
a
Disney
Jessie.
Channel?
No, this was on NBC. It starred Christina Applegate. I played her brother. It was between Friends and Frasier. Yes.
I'm sitting next to.
Yes, this was my big network show, and
Wow.
I was invited as part of a fundraiser, a charity event, to run a relay with other performers from other shows. And I had my leg. I can't remember. I was like the third one on my team to get. I'm waiting for the baton, and there's a kid actor next to me. I'm running against some kid actor. I wish I could remember. Maybe it was from Doogie Howser. I don't know what it was from, but some kid actor.
Neil Patrick Harris.
I doubt it because this was after that. But
Okay.
some young kid who you would know is next to me. And I'm like, I haven't run a race since 5th grade. And the woman hands me the baton, who was some gorgeous woman from Baywatch. So she's just gorgeous and in shape and just, amazing. She hands me the baton. I take off running as hard as I can. I get to the end of my run and hand off the baton to the next person, and I fall down, and I think I'm having a heart attack. And I literally, I feel like I need to go to the emergency room, like I'm going to throw up. I mean, because I was so worried about that kid beating me. By the way, he killed me. He just sprinted right by me. I ended up getting up and running, didn't talk to anybody, ran right to my car, turned the air conditioning on, and took an hour and a half nap to recover. And I only ran I don't know, it was probably 200 yards or something. It wasn't that far. So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, you're right.
You might get on one of those
have
things.
to go sit in a
Oh, God. I remember that feeling. I was so... Because, I didn't realize your adrenaline gets up for those races. So you just... your mind thinks your body can do more than you can do.
Wow. When you booked Jessie,
Yeah.
were you out of your mind?
Out of my
thrilled?
mind.
That's a huge deal.
Yes.
NBC between Friends and Frasier.
Yes, and it was a put pilot, 22 episodes. So I knew that I was going to make,
Money.
$250,000. And I was broke before that. And I was newly sober at the same time. So it
So
literally.
this was after the drug use.
Yes, just after though.
And look, it was almost like you stopped using drugs and then like this
And that
opened
came.
up.
Yeah, but then it all went away. But yes, but it gave me health insurance. I paid off my debt. I remember paying off my student loans to Northwestern and just rolling around naked in the bed and all over the student loan bill that I sent in.
That is so cool that you
And-
had that.
Here's the best part. I didn't have any lines. My character took a vow of silence on the show. So I got paid $16,000 a week to come out onto the soundstage, stand on a piece of tape, make a face, and then exit.
Can you pull it up? Can you pull a clip up?
I don't know if you can.
Like, there's got to be a YouTube,
YouTube?
like, of Jessie. Was Jessie the woman from Third Rock from the Sun?
No, she was.
Is that the one that you're doing the show with? The one from Third Rock from the Sun?
No, that's Jane Curtin.
Oh.
But no, that's not. Okay, here's Jesse NBC.
Were you in the intro?
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay,
pretty
that
sure.
says
Let's
the
see.
intro.
Here's the intro. Oh, there's me. Oh wait, no, that's not me. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can find one of me in it. There's only 2 clips.
Okay, go to that first one.
This one. This one may be from season 2. Oh, season 1, episode 1. I'm definitely in it. Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, we might not. Oh, okay.
Let's see if I
This
can
is
find
so
me.
90s.
Oh God.
There you are.
Where? No, that's this hunk.
Oh.
No. I looked very different. I'm probably in one. Oh, there I am. That's me in the
Where?
background.
What?
Yes, I had long
Where?
hair right behind him.
That was you?
Yes, there I am. That's me. See, that's the joke. I can't answer because I'm taking a. That's me. Oh my God, we should post this link.
Wait. You take a vow of silence, episode 1?
Yes, I had a line at the end of the first season, and then they fired the entire family. All of the brothers. There were 2 brothers, me and David DeLuise, amazing guy, and there was the father, George Zunza from Deer Hunting, this amazing actor who was also in Law and Order, who was relegated to playing the father.
Are you still friends with Christina Applegate?
Yeah, I haven't talked to her in a long time, but yeah, we were very friendly. I
Okay.
think I still have some info.
I'm going to watch this, I guess, on my own time, but
Yes.
you must have had a line before saying you're taking a vow of silence.
No, no. She explains it. There's George Zunza. Now here's a story. We're not in. Oh, here I am.
Okay.
He doesn't talk very much. Sort of this philosophical thing. Says he's not going to talk until he can find a way to use language in a more efficient manner.
There you go. See, I took a vow of silence on the pilot. So all I did was come out, stand on the tape, make some facial expressions, and then go back and play video games
That's
in
a
my.
dream job.
Isn't it?
But how was your audition?
I just did stuff like that.
were
It
just
was
like-
that scene. Yeah, I just had to.
And you had been doing improv and comedy for like 10 years before this, so you're like, this is easy.
cake. This is the best job I've ever had until I got the best job I've ever had, which was the Geico Caveman.
Yes.
Because that one, you don't know it's me. So I had all of the money of fame without any of the downside.
You
Nobody
were like-
knew
you were
that it was
like
me.
Flo from Progressive.
I was Flo, but I was in a Flo suit, so you didn't know I was Flo.
Because Flo now, she's always going to be known
She's
as Flo.
and she's an amazing actress. I've met her, and she auditioned for as one of the voices she had, because that's all she can do, as a voice on a animated show that we did for Fox that didn't go. Very nice, very talented.
I've seen her at Ground Lakes.
Yeah, she's good, but she's Flo. But
She's
she
Flo.
makes a shit ton of
I
money.
mean, it's a
I don't
great
know.
gig,
What's?
yeah.
I guess it comes down to what's the point. Are we doing this like?
For easy money.
Or are we doing this for gratification? Like,
for
what
the
is it?
art.
I don't think it's easily answered, and I think it really, I don't go there very much. I don't like to open that door because it's it's depressing.
I think like I I already feel like, I mean, just as a semi-recent grad, which means I haven't been doing like the real world acting thing for too long, I'm already like, give me a break. Like, this is exhausting.
It's exhausting and
So
hard.
if I got a commercial that just like was a flow type thing and that's all I could be, but it paid my bills and then I could just like do whatever I wanted, I think I'd be fine with it.
Yes. And where you feel about it, I'm at an entirely different place, which is like what I thought was so important about what I wanted to communicate in comedy. I still feel that, but at the same time, I'm now at a one level removed where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's important, but it's not like the most important thing in the world. And now I have children. Like, would I rather my kids be, clothed and fed versus me doing, some independent film that doesn't pay anything? It's and not in a way of like, oh, I've given up my dreams. I mean, I guess maybe I'm rationalizing that, but it's also that I realize, you know what? There's something else
Yeah.
too. And
Family.
that is a trip, man. That is a real trip to kind of realize that, because for so long improvising was everything. It's all I cared about. And
That's
to have
how I am right now.
Right, but then when you have a kid, it changes.
I know. Well, that's why I'm trying not to have them for a while.
Don't do it; they'll kill your dreams.
That's what my dad tells me all the time.
Abort, abort, abort. Don't go to Missouri. My wife said, if she got pregnant again, she would self-abort. She would just fling herself down the stairs.
Is this too? Can we talk about this on the air?
I don't know.
People get really worked up about this.
Yes, boy.
But I agree.
Rightfully so.
My dad tells me all the time,
Don't have kids.
just ruin your life.
Yeah, because they take all your friends away.
He's trying to be, like, I know he's being funny a little bit, but he's serious.
Yeah, he's also like, don't. But here's the kicker. This is the kicker. It's worth it.
Okay, I hear that.
So it throws your life away, but it's worth throwing your life away. It's that good. It's kind of like
Really?
the way I describe my favorite subject, heroin.
Heroin.
Yes. Heroin, people think that the problem with heroin is that it's so addictive. No. The real problem is how good it makes you feel.
And that's what kids do. They make you feel good.
Mhm. They make you feel so good that you don't care about throwing your dreams away.
I think that's a perfect note to end it on.
Yes. All right. Well,
Well, how long have we been going?
okay, let me check here. The time. I always forget to do this because we're supposed to change that to time, and it doesn't. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, Chase. Keep everybody entertained.
Okay, we're just checking how long we've been
Oh,
going.
we're at 42 minutes.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Because the longer we do, the more I have to cut out. So I think we just.
Stop.
think we
Well,
just
I'm
stop.
so glad to be back here doing this with you.
Me too.
You're an excellent person.
You too. I
And-
can't believe I didn't know about Jesse.
I can't believe. Well, that was. Oh my God, I have some stories to tell about Jesse. Oh
More?
my God, George Zunza. I'll end on this.
Okay.
George Zunza got fired. All of us got fired, and he had. He knew he got fired before we finished the season. They told him, which you should never do to an actor. So he's livid. Because he's not getting fired because of anything he did, because he's awesome. He's getting fired because they screwed up in how they made the show. So we get an award for some of these award shows. I think it's the one where the audience votes, the People Magazine one, the People's Choice. People's Choice. So we win. It's all rigged. We win the People's Choice
Really?
Award. I think so. I don't know. Anyway, we win it. We go backstage. We get the award. Christina has to go off and do something. George is holding the award. George is pissed off that he's been fired. So he decides he's going to steal the award. And he and I are standing next to each other, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And he reaches into the trash, and I remember Brooke Shields was standing right next to me. They were giving out free sunglasses, and we at this table, and you could pick your own sunglasses. So we're picking out our free sunglasses, and Brooke Shields actually said, "Oh, those look good on you." I was like, "If Brooke Shields says they're good, I'm going to take them."
Oh my God.
My
You were
wife hated
living
them.
like superstar
Yeah.
young Hollywood.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, George reaches into a trash can, pulls out an envelope, manila envelope that's like got Coke drippings on it and stuff, and sticks the award in it to kind of hide it. It's this big glass phallic looking thing. Sticks it in there, and then a PA runs by, and George goes, "You come here," and the PA goes, "Yes, sir." Comes over, and George says, "Here, take this and put it in the trunk of my car." And the PA can tell what it is. He knows. And the PA like walks off with, and here's the kicker: one of the other cast members who didn't get fired narked on George and got him in a lot of trouble.
God.
I was like, "No, dude, this is awesome."
Oh, that's such a bummer. So
It's-
he didn't get to keep it?
He didn't get to keep it. But I thought that was really, really funny. I really liked him. Really
That's
good guy.
really funny. Wow, you are an A-lister.
Well, I was for a minute. For a minute.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
Yeah.
People Choice Awards.
I was in TV Guide. I was in the picks and pans. And guess what? I was a pan. My character was a pan.
What's a pan?
Thumbs down.
Oh.
In a national magazine. They ran my picture. It was horrible. So talk about, that's like my version of bombing,
Yeah.
where the
Oh.
entire nation knows
Oh,
that
that's worse.
TV Guide magazine hates you, which is a very Gen X thing, a TV
But
Guide.
you're so funny.
Not so much. It was kind of a dumb character, don't you
It's so
think?
funny.
You watched the whole episode.
Did you have long hair at the audition, or did
Yeah.
they tell you to grow it
No,
up?
I had long hair at the
How
audition.
fun
I
are
had long
you?
hair for years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, learning so much. I had long hair for years too.
Yeah,
This
I
is
like.
short.
Yeah, don't cut it.
It used to be long.
Okay, don't cut that.
Oh, I might.
No, don't do it.
Oh, okay.
Don't do it. I'm telling you, it's
I
the
like,
best advice.
Now I like it short.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Just don't do the bob thing
Oh no.
or anything above the shoulders.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Phew. All right.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
This has been fun. Thank you all for listening.
Yes.
Please let us know if there's any games you'd like us to play.
Yes.
or
Give us comments and
segments.
suggestions or things to talk about.
Come on, we're running out of things to talk about.
No, we're not.
I'm kidding.
All right. We'll be back next week, and we're going to, at the end of this, be quiet for 5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.